All right. So, in order to solve this, what should you ask yourself first? Always, 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 when we're asked to either factor or solve a quadratic, we should look for a GCF. Is there a GCF here? No. What should you then quickly try to do? You should try the X method. Yeah, I would try it really quickly. Now, what do I need to do first here before applying the X method? I need to get it in standard form. I need to bring that 14 to the other side. So I have x squared plus 6x minus 14 is equal to 0. So in the top of my x, I put negative 14, and then I put 6. Is there anything that multiplies to get negative 14 but adds to get 6? Well, the factors of 14 are 1 and 14. No combination of that will be 6. 7 and 2. No combination of that will be 6. So I cannot use the X method. What do I now turn to? Last ditch resort is your quadratic formula. What is the quadratic formula?
Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a.
Good. That is our quadratic formula. And the a value is what in this problem? What is the number in front of x squared? An invisible 1. Good. And your b value is? In this problem?
6.
And your c value is?
Negative 14.
Good. Now it's just a simple task of plugging in values. So x is equal to negative, what's our b value? Plus or minus the square root of b squared, which b is again what? Minus 4 times a, which is? Times c, which is? Negative 14. All over 2 times a, which is 1. What do I do from here? Can I just plug this whole thing in my calculator and press enter? I need to deal with the square root first. So I need to figure out what inside the square root is going to be equal to. I saw someone in the warm-up who just did this math wrong. So 6 squared is how much? 36. What is negative 4 times 1 times negative 14? Positive. I saw someone put a negative 56 there, and that's where they went wrong. It's a negative 4 times a 1 times a negative 14. That becomes positive 56. So what is 36 plus 56?
92.
Good. So that's what I have. What do I do from here? Yes, I need to simplify this as much as I can. So the only thing that I can simplify right now is that radical, that square root of 92. Now, I know some of you are still struggling with how to simplify radicals. I'm going to show you what I showed my geometry kids in prior years. Whenever we are trying to simplify a radical, yes, you can pull out perfect squares, but if your mind just doesn't work that way, you can instead do a tree diagram. So over to the side here, I'm going to do a tree diagram. What factors go into 92? 4 times? $23? Okay. 4 times 23. Can 23 be split anymore? 23 is a what? Prime number. Okay. Can 4 be split? Into? 2 and 2. All right. So now have we completed our factor tree? So how we read our factor tree is we look for pairs of numbers on the ends of our branches. So what pairs of numbers do I have? I have 2 2s. So because I have a pair of 2s, I am going to write a 1 representation outside of my radical. So I'm going to write a single 2 outside of my square root. And then the leftovers, the ones that do not have pairs, go on the inside. Done. This is as simplified as it can get. This works every single time. Now, what would have happened if I had 2 pairs of numbers? So say my tree kept going, and instead of a 2 there, I had an 16. We'll do 16. Instead of a 2, I had a 16, and then this split into 4 times 4, and then this split into 2 times 2 and 2 times 2. So how many pairs of numbers do I have here?
4.
I have 2 sets of 2s. So for this pair, I write 1 2 on the outside, and for the second pair, I write 1 2. And then our leftovers, what do I have? 1 2 and a 23. So I multiply. 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 23 is, 46. And this is my answer. Obviously, that's not the answer for this problem. I just created a 16 there. Our answer for this problem is 2, 23. So, go ahead. There is no perfect squares that go into it. Good question. Okay, so I'm going to replace 92 with what? Divided by 2. So can this be simplified anymore? Each one of how many terms do we have here? There are 3 terms here. There is a 6, there is a 2, and it's divided by a 2. Do you think I need to take a 2 out of 23? No, because I'm going to take it out of the 2 that's in front of the square root. You only need to divide a 2 out of one of the values in a term. So here, each one of these can be divided by what? 2. 6 divided by 2 is? 2 divided by 2 is? 2 divided by 2 is? So this simplifies to -3 plus or minus square root of 23. Any questions on this problem? Yes?
So whenever it's like if it's like square and that can't be
Reduced.
Yeah, then that's just your answer.
You can leave it like that.
Okay.
Very good. So when you still have a square root in your answer, you can just write -3 plus or minus square root of 23. If this had ended up being a whole number, yes, you would have to write out the 2 solutions. Yes?
What happens if you get a negative in your square root?
That's what we're doing today. It's not going to count against you on the homework.